Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit Zappy here, back again with Squid Game Season 1. We are on episode 7, and in the last episode we suffered quite the amount of losses, and it was definitely the most heartbreaking episode of the show so far. And I say so far, like I don't know if it can really be beat, because I just feel like we lost like so many that they were a main part of of our core group. And the way we lost them was even more of a heartbreak because they were basically fighting against each other. Setting themselves up into pairs thinking that they're going to be a team, and then they break that, that bombshell that they actually have to play against each other. It was a great episode, but damn, it was heartbreaking. It was very sad. We had 3 main deaths in there. The first one was Ji-young. That was the name of the sort of the younger girl that went up against Se-byuk, but she basically gave up her life for Se-byuk to carry on. We had Ali, another heartbreaking one because him and Sang-woo seemed to have they formed this kind of bond between them, like a dynamic duo, but Sang-woo essentially took as much advantage as he could of Ali, who was just really, really naive, and it's shocking, really. But I don't know what else to say other than that. That was horrific. And finally, the old man. We got his name, Il-nam, at the very end there, which is still up in the air for me whether or not he's dead. We didn't see it, and if we didn't really see it happen. I guess theoretically we didn't really see Ali die either, but that one's more, Ali was, just a sort of like another participant, whereas I've always had this theory that the old man has some influence in the whole thing, but it was just a theory, so I don't know. It's possible he could be back. I just think there's something with the records, the medical records, and 001, the old man, not being in those records. It's weird how it wasn't there in the book, so I still feel like there's something missing with that, but we'll have to see. So yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how the characters are going to feel now. I feel like this is kind of a sort of a breaking point maybe for them, mentally, I would feel, just because of they've had to basically kill off somebody that they were bonded to and close to. So it's going to be interesting from here on out, and also what is happening with Han Min-yo as well, because she was the odd one out. She didn't actually end up getting a partner, and they dragged her away before the game started. So I don't know what's going on with her. The obvious, I would say, is that she's not dead. If they were going to kill her, they would have just killed her. So yeah, it is going to be interesting to see what goes ahead. Joksu, obviously, he won as well. He's still around. I figured that he would be. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about, so I think we're just going to get in episode 7 and see what we get. So as always, the reaction will be here on YouTube, but if for whatever reason it gets taken off for copyright in the future, I'll re-upload this as a discussion only, and the link to the reaction will be in the description below. As always, a link to the next week early access, or the next episode early access, is down there, and the link to the full-length reaction as well. So if you want to watch my full-length reaction to all the shows I do, there's the link down for you there. And if you want to get early access to episode 8 right now, you can do by going to that link in the description. But yeah, nothing else to really talk about, so we're going to get in episode 7, see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Oh god, I didn't know if we're going to see that, so I don't know, maybe we do see the old man. He's still just hanging out up there in the office. VIPs are coming. I can't wait to see what their deal is. Well, it's the title of the episode. She was just dragged back here, wasn't she? Yeah. She managed to just get out of it then, just by not having a partner.
덕수 씨, 이제 왔어? 네가
He was a bit hesitant to pick the
I'm
phone
happy
up
to
there.
hear you enjoyed the game.
That
The
was a
host
bit-
is currently waiting for the VIPs to arrive.
A host. I did hear a slight twinge in his accent there, so I don't think he's fully American. He senses something's off.
지금 이 안에 있나? 난 수화기를 항상 반대로 놓거든.
That's why he was hesitant. Ah!
네가 쏜 총알, 스미스 웨슨 M60 리볼버 총알이더군. 한국 경찰들이 쓰는 총이지.
He knows his stuff.
어떻게 들어왔는지 모르지만 넌 내 말 없이 여기서 절대로 못 나가.
While he was out, he could have went back down where he came from, you know, back down that ladder. He's in there.
시체가 발견됐습니다.
어디야?
서북쪽 해안입니다.
Is that maybe the one that he threw overboard? That's the only one I can think of that wasn't already found, you know.
유난 떨지 마. 여기서 처음 만난 노인이었을 뿐이잖아. 저 사람 짝은 자기 부인이었어.
Yeah, that couple. Fuck, he had to kill his wife, dude. Ugh.
경찰
God.
신분증이 나왔습니다.
Fucking hell. They're getting everything on Huang, like, you know what I mean? Huang's making some mistakes here, dude.
과관수 이장만 찬성하면 그만둘 수 있대요. 9명만 찬성하면 여기서 나갈 수 있어요. 여기 나가고 싶은 사람 없어요?
여기서 나가면 당신 부인이 살아 돌아와? 당신이 부인을 죽인 걸 용서라도 받아? 그렇게 괴로우면 왜 당신이 살아왔어? 당신이 부인 대신 죽었어야지.
I can kind of understand what you're saying with, like, you know, you want to leave now after, you know what I mean? You've basically just played against your wife and she's suffered death because of it, and it's like kind of like she'll have died in vain if you don't keep fighting, you know. Here we go, look. The VIPs. So where's he been the whole time then? Because we haven't seen him up until now.
Where's the host?
Unfortunately, some urgent business has prevented him from attending.
Seriously? I find it hard to believe the host would miss a night like tonight.
I just have to say that I'm a difficult man to please. I hope you won't disappoint me.
Shall we?
Shalln't we?
I am dying to know what this next
What
game
is
Give us
this?
a hint, will you?
As much as I'd like to, I'd hate to ruin the fun for everyone.
The games this edition have been amazing.
Right, the contest in Korea was the best.
Trust me, the screens we have at home are plenty big, but
So they do watch from
nothing
home.
beats seeing it with your own eyes.
Put a lot of money on that dickhead to win.
Of course they're taking bets.
How much did you bet?
He's got to kill himself. Yeah, they mentioned the contest in Korea, so this is something that isn't just happening here.
그럴 시간이야.
Oh God, he's got to don a new outfit. Looks like the piggy bank's like perfectly sized for the amount of money that's in there, so I guess they always have roughly the same amount of people in there.
What's that thing? Looks like a bridge of some sort.
I like the looks of it.
Cross it without... There may be some that's like, if they're all like platforms spread out, there may be some that are stable and some that fall away. That's all I can really think.
게임을 시작하기 전에 앞에 있는 마네킹에 걸린 1에서 16가지의 번호표를 하나씩 선택해 주시기 바랍니다.
Plenty of other variables, but I think the order in which they compete matters most.
하나님께서 이 땅에 인간을 창조하신 날은 6번째 날이에요. 하나님께서 죄 없는 순수한 인간을 창조하신 그날로 돌아가는 거예요. 행운의 번호 7번.
I want to get my number!
여러분 앞에 있는 번호는 다음 게임을 시작하는 순서입니다. 신중하게 선택하시기 바랍니다.
The order. Okay. So they've literally went and told them that. That's not very equal of them though, is it? Like, some of them already went and got their vests, and now you're telling them after the fact what they represent.
Down to 2 positions.
Who's the other?
First and last.
Who's the other one? That
Start and the finish.
제가 1번 하면 안 될까요? 제가 평생 뒤에 숨어서 남 눈치만 보고 살았어요. 평생 한 번도 제 인생을 주인공처럼 살아본 적이 없어요. 태어나서 딱 한 번만이라도 제대로 살아보고 싶습니다. 제일 앞에서 당당하게.
Okay. All right.
You fuckwad!
Gayhun's. Gayhun's getting number 16 now.
They first 69 and now 96.
If I believe, oh my god, yeah, it's literally, it opens up so they can actually look out. That is ridiculous. That is so fucking, that room is massive. It looks like the inside of like a circus. Yeah.
앞에 보이는 한 쌍의 유리는 두 가지 유리, 강화 유리와 일반 유리로 되어 있습니다.
Yeah. That's why it's best to go last. I mean, I thought so when I saw it. That, yeah, I mean, going first, you're fucked because you're the one that has to take the steps, you know, and that means that everyone who's in front of you has less of a chance. If you're behind, you can just follow. Which means that Gihun's in the best possible place. The thing is, theoretically, you could go through this entire game without anyone dying. If he's lucky. I don't think you're going to get that answer, mate. For the first time in his life, he wanted to choose his own, like, of his own volition, and he's ended up fucking himself over. But whoa.
I don't want to have to keep calling you back. Sit down. Here.
Can the VIPs do what they want? Like,
다리를 건너야 합니다.
yeah, I mean, could they do what they want? Could they pull his mask off?
다리 위로 올라가세요.
I mean, is there anything from stopping you just trying to, like, put your weight on one? You know what I mean? And also, can you just cross the beams? Like, don't actually step on the middle. Go across the beams. Yeah, I didn't think about that. The people up front, like, they can hold back the time. Jesus Christ.
He's gone.
Oh no.
Jeez.
What pretty eyes you have.
Okay, he's gay. Oh. Stay on the same side. Same side. Don't cross. Don't go to the left. No, go to the right. They're not going to crisscross. That's too easy. What number was Joksu? I feel like he was, like, relatively low. He might be the lowest one, you know? It's the guy that's like the mathematician, right? Like the teacher dude. I remember him talking in the last episode to Gihun. God! Also, there's nothing wrong with people coming up behind you and following you. They said they can hold, like, the tempered glass can hold up to 2 people's weight. Oh, he's just going for it! Oh, I respect it. I respect the hustle. Like, he just went for it. Gotta remember the pattern as well. Because there are some that are still 2, and he can't remember, can he? I think it's a cross. I think.
왼쪽 같긴 한데.
아니야. 오른쪽으로 갔다가 왼쪽으로 갔어. 아니야. 바로 왼쪽으로 갔어. 아니야. 거기서 오른쪽이었어.
That's not helping. God's sake! Ah, oh man!
Take that mask off.
I knew it! I knew he was going to ask that.
Take.
That is fucked.
Off.
남은 다리는 10줄. 남은 사람은 11명.
He's going to sit and pray, isn't he? Oh, for God's sake! Oh, these fucking people.
심판의 날이 다가왔어요. 우린 어차피 다. 너부터 죽고 싶지 않으면 그 기도하는 새끼 앞으로 보내.
God. Well, yeah, true. He's found a way to fucking. Oh, he's found a way. I didn't even think he could just wait. Oh wow! After all that, oh Joksu, this might be the. Oh, dude, this could be the end of Joksu. You know, it really could, unless he takes that approach that the god guy did. The god guy, the religious dude did. Do you not remember? It's left. How has he not remembered?
왼쪽이라고.
Thank you, Sabian.
정신 차려.
I mean, that would suck, wouldn't it? After all that, everyone's taken that step onto that glass, and you forget. you go through the wrong one. This next he's gone, I think. Like, I don't. Well, never mind. He didn't know. It looked like he landed straight on his feet there. I don't even know if he would have. Oh, Joksu, how many? Oh, there's still a good amount there, dude. I feel like he's going to take the approach of letting someone come to him and he's going to throw them over. That's the only way I see him surviving this. I mean...
We can't show our faces in here.
You're all mine.
But after you leave, they will kill me. Please, take somewhere where we can be alone.
He's trying that on.
나 더 이상 안 간다고. 걱정 부리지 마. 번호대로 가는 게 규칙이야. 난 니들 대신 뒤지니까 다 덤비라고.
I mean, I know he's strong, but you still have to balance on the glass. There's not a lot of room there, you know. Good God.
If you can satisfy me.
Oh, don't! Oh my God.
Satisfied? Tell me everything. You know about the game.
That was a waste. He didn't even figure out what. Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't even think. Oh, this could be the end of Joksu. I did say that she would get her revenge.
새끼랑 붙어 먹었던 게 정말 죽고 싶을 만큼 쪽팔리다.
그럼 먼저 가서 뒤지든가.
비켜.
그럼 나의 땡큐지.
You idiot, Joksu. You idiot. Oh God.
뭐 하는 거야?
순진한 새끼. 내가 정말 너 대신 죽어줄 줄 알았냐?
이런 미친 년이 씨발. 이거 너라고 씨발이라.
나 배신하면.
Oh fucking hell.
이거 부르지 마. 불어.
쫄보 새끼.
Oh my God! She actually is willing to just go with him. I thought she was going to try something like.
Hell hath no fury like a woman's sword.
Holy fuck! Is it possible that it could have broke his fall though? Like if one landed on the other, you know? Oh God! It's gonna end up being the three. It's gonna end up being bloody Sang-woo and. The last guy said he could tell as well, but... This is the thing. It's going to go down to the wire again with Gi-hun. It always does in every single game.
Can he really tell the difference?
I think so.
And the lights off.
Let me adjust the settings.
Yeah, I'll turn this... Yeah. Oh, God! Man. He's only the last fucking... The last one. Oh, the last one. He's gonna die, isn't he? He's gonna die in the last one. That's unfortunate, man. Oh, God. collapse. He didn't kill him, man. Wonder if he threw it hard enough, he could crack it, you know? And if it didn't, well, I guess that's too hard to, like, kind of judge. That sounds like normal glass to me. Not that I know the difference. I don't know. The way that it pinged sounded very light, but then I don't know. It is just a marble, I guess. So fucking hell! Come on, Jesus! Sang-woo again. He's just gonna push him. I mean, theoretically, he could just wait it out to the last second, couldn't he? No, he's not going to. Okay. I was like, Sang-woo could be, you know what I mean? Like, knowing him, he could do that. Nice. I knew these three. Oh, down to these fucking three. Whoa. Oh, God. That was cool. Ugh. Of course he got. Alright, drummer, chill out. That was well over the top. He took one. Yeah, he's aware. He's got all of his information from the VIP.
잠수정비 하나가 사라졌습니다.
He's heading back to the mainland. It was smart for them to put trackers on this suit. I mean, well, yeah, I was going to say he could just remain underwater, but I guess they can just wait at the surface for him, you know. He needs to get to an island before they get to him. Because otherwise they'll just wait for him to come to the surface. Fuck it! Ah! Okay, episode 7, VIPs. Oh, man. Down to the last 3. Well, there's some stuff to talk about. I'm not entirely convinced that Han Min-yo and Jok-soo are dead. I think one of them is. But I just feel like one could have broke the other's fall, you know? The fact is, we haven't seen them. And like I say, if you haven't seen it happen, if you haven't seen them die, there's always the possibility that they're not. So I'm gonna assume that I think Han Min-yo is gonna be alive. Because this is the thing, I was thinking, like, I was surprised that, like, she was going through with him. I guess it's because she couldn't really out-strength him, so she couldn't get him off on his own. But I figure, like, if she... Oh, God, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Maybe she is that just much of a sadist that she's, you know, just the thought that she's gonna take him out, even if she dies as well, is like enough for her, you know. But I don't know. I know she's crazy, but like, but I wouldn't be surprised if she has come out of that alive and just thought the idea is like, as long as I can maneuver him enough in the air so that like that she's on top of him, that he'll be okay. But I don't see it being the other way around, put it that way. I don't see Jok-soo being alive. If that is the case, he's the most luckiest fucker ever. But I knew it was going to come to a head at some point between that. They just, the way it was set up, it just felt quite obvious that it was like Han Min-yo is going to get a revenge on him. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to happen. I've been saying that for a good few episodes now. But yeah. Unbelievable. I think this was the first one I actually, like, immediately got right. Like, beforehand, before it was said. I think, well, maybe the tug of war as well, but but in terms of the game, I guess. And it's interesting as well, like, they obviously claim that you know, the equal nature of the game and whatnot, and how, like, that's sort of law there, you know what I mean? Like, it's their kind of mantra, like, that's how it has to be that way. the integrity of the whole game is based around it being equal, and that's the one thing you can guarantee from them is that that's the way that it's supposed to be. And yet they give others more information than previously. You know what I mean? People had already chosen their number, and then whilst others were just sitting back thinking about what the numbers could mean, what could they represent, it came out and they were told exactly what it means. So I feel like that is a bit not neat, like it's not equal at all. You know. But I guess on the other hand, it's like they didn't know, like they didn't get to see a like little mock-up, like a little sort of model diagram of the next game, whereas we as the viewers actually saw that beforehand. So based upon looking at that, you could assume like to know exactly what the game was, whereas just being told, oh, it's the order, and you don't know what the game is or have no real idea, then I guess it makes like little to no odds. But I tell you what, Gi-hun keeps surviving by the narrowest of margins, like the narrowest. It's always down to the last second every game, but like being saved by other people, like, you know, he's like, you know, the old man gave himself up for Gi-hun to stay alive. The one dude took the you know, the number one vest off of him. And I mean, that's the thing, is like, if he had got first, he wouldn't have got across. There's just no way. I really respect the one guy for just going for it. Like, he didn't. It was just like, it makes no odds if I slow this down or go fast. You know what I mean? The odds were like totally not in his favor. So he was like, best to just go off instinct and take a shot at it, right? So, you know, respect to that guy. I still think that, like, one of them at least should have tried to just step on the beams. You know? Like, that's the first thing I would have thought of. At least, like, attempt it. And if they have to say you're not allowed to do that, right, but at least try. Because you never know. You never know. If you're smart enough to sort of to do it that way, like, that's the thing, is what I've always sort of like found in regards to, like, not every game, because this is a bit more like, some games are more suited to it than others, but like, you can kind of game the system in a way that kind of suits you better, maybe, you know. Like Tug of War, I don't think you can, because you're in a group, and, you know, even then they did have like the technique, but it's like, for example, you know, Red Light Green Light, the very first one, you had people like Sang-woo staying behind another person so that you wouldn't catch the gaze of the little child android thing. You know what I mean? So like, you can game the system in ways that, you know, in some games. So if it was me, I would at least just test it. I don't think they would just straight up shoot you for trying that. I think they would tell you to not do that. So at least try it. So yeah, I was surprised that no one actually just thought to just do that. But okay, fair enough. And I thought there at the end that Sang-woo could legitimately hold Se-byok and Gi-hun up until the last second, then jump off. But if he was to do that, I think that Se-byok and Gi-hun would just charge him anyway. So I guess I guess that's just the way that it is inclined. It's just a thought that literally came into my head as he was there. That, like, because he is smart and he does sort of think about this kind of stuff. Like, he's thought about it ever since the second game. The second game was the I think the second game was the honeycomb one, right? But we know that, like, he's always been gaming, like, you know, basically had it in his head that there's only going to be one winner at the end, and then with that in mind, like he can only look out for himself, and so that's why it's like I couldn't hold it against him what he did to Ali, because if he didn't, then he would have died. So it's like, you know what I mean? And it sucked last episode that he had to do that to Ali, you know, but the more that I'm just seeing him in these episodes, the more that he's just sort of like, he is more ready to go through with all of this stuff than anybody else in the game. Like, mentally, he is, you know, like, he's switched off that part of his brain to be like emotional almost in doing this. And he's just set on winning, and that's it. I think that was kind of vindicated, like, with him talking to the one guy who had to play against his wife, right? But what he was saying there was true anyway. Like, the idea that she would have died in vain if you're willing to just give up now after she's dead, you know. But the guy killed himself anyway. And yeah. So, other than that, we know our last three going into the last game, because the sixth game's all together, right? And we've just had the fifth one. So the last game is going to be between those three. At least up until now, unless we find out that Han Minyo is still alive or whatever, and she comes back into the fray. I don't think that'll be the case, though. I think if you fell, they would just shoot you anyway. But that's the thing. If she is still alive, she is going to have to, like, I don't know, she's going to have to sneak out of there. Is anyone watching down there? Is anyone keeping an eye? Because yeah, we're getting close to the end now, so it makes me like, I did have the question last episode or the episode before, whatever, where I was like, I think it was last episode, I was talking about this idea that the games wouldn't finish. Like, it could get to the sixth game and it just doesn't finish, so therefore there are characters that are still alive, and it's not just one winner at the end and that's it. Because of I want them all to still be alive at the end, you know? And the only way I feel like that was possible was if the police came in and shut this thing down before it could go ahead to the end. And the thing is with that is, like, Huang's on his way back. He's got the evidence. He recorded that one guy talking about the games and everything like that. And he's on his way back. The thing is, they seem so far out. Like, he's swimming towards another island. You know? Like, it's not the mainland. I thought they... You know what I mean? They are, like, well out there. So, I don't know if this other island is perhaps... there is people on it that he can get a lift off or whatever. I don't know. But he's got to get back, man. He's got to get back with all that information, because I feel like that's the only hope in any of these, like, any of these remaining three staying alive. This is the thing. It's like, I'm going to be gutted if that isn't the case. Because it's like, I mean, I don't want any of them to die. So it's just one of those things where it's just like, you know, you can't put it past Gi-hun that he's going to win it, because he's the main guy of the show, and we know his background more than anybody. So to meta it that way is it's hard not to. It sucks that you kind of can though. But I don't know how it's going to end. I just really want Sae-byeok out now. You know, after last episode, I like, she shot up in my list of, like, she needs to get through this. She has to stay alive. And then you've got Sang-woo, who, like, I don't know, it's tough. Like, I think if anyone was going to die, it would be Sang-woo, just because, like, he's been, like, a catalyst for a lot of the reasons that they have gotten through this far, you know. And I feel like it's like that kind of poetic nature to it, where it's like, you know, it's like he did like all of the hard work kind of just to get to the last hurdle, and then he goes. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's Gi-hun that has to kill him or something. Like there'll be something there that forces that. But that's the thing. It's essentially going to be a 1v1v1 though, isn't it? So I don't know. Like it could be a number of different games that they have to play. You know. I remember early on, like I just threw out the idea that like if it got to like the last, the last sort of batch of people, that it would just be a tournament style fight to the death thing. But with it being just three members left, that's just not going to happen, is it? So I don't know what it could be. But like I said, I think if any of them are going to die, I feel like it would be Sang-woo. It feels like it would almost make sense in a way, and because Gi-hun knows him, if he was to get through, that means he could still give, you know, money to his mother to help her out, right, to clear that sort of debt that's now been forced on her head. So, you know, that there could be that. I just hope it doesn't come to a point where like Sabyok has to die, because I don't want that happening, and of course I don't want Gi-hun to die either. So it's kind of I don't know, it's gonna ramp up, and the anxiety is going to be through the roof. I just hope that Hwang can get this all sorted out quick enough to where that doesn't happen. And yeah, finally the VIPs. So we've finally got to look at them, or at least their masks anyway. And one in particular was like the kind of standout, and that's the one that Hwang basically interrogated, or, you know, forced information out of. And yeah, the other ones, it feels like it's just from around the globe, almost like they are like millionaires or billionaires, or, you know, basically they're sort of like high class owned businesses, whatever. Could be like politicians or something like that come from around the world, because I did pick up on like a few different accents, so I imagine it's just not a case of like they're all from like, you know, like America or whatever. So I'm pretty sure like there sounded like a Scandinavian one in there. I could be wrong, but you know, I could tell some of the accents, the differences as well. And we also got made aware of the host. So he's just come out of nowhere. So he's the one that like heads up the whole thing, at least in Korea. That's the other thing as well. Like, well, first of all, so the host, just came out of like nowhere. Like, where's he been this whole time? Why have we never seen him? What does he do? I don't know, man. Because the front man's the one that's been like going around doing like, you know, sorting everything out. He's the one that starts the games, and you know what I mean? I mean, I always thought that there was someone up above him, because being called the front man kind of insinuates that you're just the, you know, the guy who orchestrates, but you're not the one at the top. And the host didn't want to get involved with this, like with the VIPs and everything, that there was something he had to sort out, and I'm wondering if that is just down to the, you know, to Detective Hwang situation, possibly, because obviously they have to do everything they can to like not let this information get out. You know, they have to obviously remain secretive in this place. But that's the thing, is like the host, I think he's just the host of this one. Like, this is the Korean contest. Because it was quoted, like one of the VIPs talked about like the contest in Korea's, like it was like it been great or something, or something like that, which means that there are other facilities around the world that does the exact same thing. At least I assume that's what it is. The other thing as well was I picked up on, talking about, you know, accents and whatnot. The front man did have a Korean sort of like twinge to his wording, like to his pronunciation in this episode. Whereas in previous episodes when he spoke English, it felt pretty consistent, like almost like sounding like that he was like American on there, but like I could hear the sort of the Korean twinge coming through. So yeah, and also the front man now knows Detective Huang's identity. He got the ID and everything like that. So it's not going to be his brother then, because that was one of the things that I was asking as well. Is like maybe he's the front man, and we just because there's always been this thing that I thought about, this theory that the winner becomes like almost a part of this whole like Squid Game thing. They become a higher up. There's still the possibility. I don't think so though, because Detective Huang's Inho's like he's Korean. I think I would have noticed. I was going to say like maybe one of the VIPs, but I don't think that's the case though. I think all of the VIPs spoke in this episode. I don't think there was one that was just quiet. I think that would have been picked up on if that was the case. So yeah, I don't think even one of the VIPs is Inho either. So that's still a mystery then. Again, remember, like, they purposefully kept the way that Inho looked in shadow, so we don't know what he looks like. Which is why, like, I was like, there's a reason why we haven't been able to see the face, why we're not allowed to, and it was like, is it because we already know who it is? But at this point, the only people we knew were the participants, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I don't know. And I also think, like, becoming one of the guards, like, maybe, like, becoming a square guard or whatever, like, one of the supervisors, I don't think that's sort of in line with the win, like, as part of the prize. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's the thing, is like, when you don't know his face and whatnot, I mean, even if you didn't know what he looked like, it's kind of that thing of, well, maybe he's just, he can be hiding in plain sight because they've all got masks on. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else to really talk about. I mean, this is the thing, like, you know what it is with Huang? Like, he's always, I feel like he's always not careful enough. Like, he leaves things out of place, and it's like obvious where he's been, and it's, you know what I mean? He keeps doing, like, I don't know. I guess he couldn't truly help the body of the one guy that he chucked over the top of the boat. I don't think, you can't blame him for that one, because it's just like, well, the guy just showed back up on shore, right? So he couldn't really do anything to help that. But he keeps things, like, out of place, and he keeps fucking over himself. So yeah, I mean, he's done well so far. He's out there. He just needs to get on that island before they kind of catch up to him, because if you're still in the water by the time they catch up to you, you're fucked. Because yeah, you can stay underwater, but you can only do that for an amount of time. Like, you know what I mean? They could just literally stay there until you run out of oxygen. Like, you have to come up to the surface at some point. So that's the thing, he has to get to that island before they catch up to him, because they'll just wait on the island. So yeah, last 3, man, damn, and the last 2 episodes as well, so there's still a good amount of, like, sort of time to sort of, like, get stuff done. A lot of stuff going on in the background. You know, I don't know what it's going. I feel like the next episode will focus on the last game, and then the last episode will be like the roundup at the end, where, like, I don't know, hopefully we're seeing the likes of Gi-hun and Se-byok, like, reunite with their, you know, Gi-hun with his daughter, and Se-byok with her brother, and hopefully her mother as well. And if we can afford it without any more deaths, and hopefully Sang-woo can get out there and you know, remove his debt. So yeah, man, there's a lot. There's a lot that can happen. But that is all I've got. So thank you everyone for watching. In the description below, I think certain things. One of them is the Discord, so you can get yourself over there if you wish. And I also have a Patreon page as well. So if you do want to support me on Patreon, that'd be very much appreciated. There is a bunch of different tiers and rewards there, like early access gives you access to shows a week early. There's the full-length tier, which gives you access to full-length all the shows that I do. And then there's the exclusive tier, which gives you access to the full-length movie reactions as well. So if you want to see my full-length reactions to movies, that's the one for you. But that's all I've got. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.